Good afternoon and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Defining Virtuosity. My name is Odin Rathnam and I'm Professor of Violin at Cleveland State University. This first set of videos is a study of the 60 etudes by Wohlfahrt, and I'm continuing now with number 44, Tempo di Marcia. The etude is a combination of dotted notes and slurs, and the way that we execute these hooked bowings is kind of important. If we consider a regular quarter note stroke going in one direction, the stroke really comes from the shoulder and the forearm opening up or closing in each direction. If we add a collé right before each new stroke, we get a dotted figure. Now this is exaggerated, but there's a feeling that the little stroke is not generated by the arm, but more by the fingers. So that the arm can focus on the larger quarter note values, and the subdivisions of the 8th to the 16th note rest and the 16th note can become more the responsibility of catching and releasing with the fingers. I would start it quite slow and make sure to be in a comfortable part of the bow. I wouldn't worry too much in the beginning about the divisions that we might do in terms of the length of the stroke, but more just the gesture is correct, that we have arm, finger, okay? And within that tempo you can go quite slowly. Now, in the beginning of the etude, if you look above in the Schirmer edition, the articulation of a full dotted 8th to a 16th is also suggested for practice. So there are two ways of practicing the stroke, and I think both are important. The first is to have a dotted 8th with a 16th rest and a 16th. The second would be to have a full dotted 8th with no rest and a catch. It creates a different musical intention. And as we go through the piece, we can actually substitute one for the other according to the character of the music. So when we get to the music at bar 24 through 25, we can gradually alter the stroke to a gentler stroke that moves more in the direction of the connected sound. So if we're more marcato at 24, we can create a different character simply by creating less of a stop in the first longer note value. And then we can bring back the more marcato character when we want to bring the original character of the opening back in the recapitulation. So that would mean we can have these types of contrasts. If we look from bar 15 or so, that's the cadence of the first long idea. The rest. And morph into the other. You can hear when we shorten the stroke again, it creates a different musical feeling. And I think experimenting with those two will give you a greater range of expression. And I think also that when we get to F major, we are now in a major key, gentler, and that's why I tend to lengthen the strokes. You can also hear that when you go to there's more harmonic tension. So there I might sharpen the stroke slightly. But there, when we get to C major, we can relax it. So I think being sensitive to the energy levels that you put into these strokes makes the study more musical, rather than doing it in one character. But in the beginning, you can isolate. You can really deliberately practice any measure. I would also bring up one important character, one important point, and that is not to let the bow slip on the emphasized strokes. Not to let the bow slip, but to make sure that we feel the concentration of the sound. Again, when crossing strings, end with concentration and cross during the silence. Begin the up bow with concentration and make your preparations quick. A preparation of a lower string can lead with the arm and finish in the fingers, so that the finger portion, this little pivot, helps activate the springs so that we're not locked. Catch, prepare, so the fingers curl and the thumb bends for the downward stroke. I would number your etude so that you can practice different parts of the study. The first line, bar 1, then 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 20, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, 45. Then making the few fingering changes that are necessary is much easier. For example, in bar 25, going to the fourth position from the A to the B flat in the third quarter note value, because it facilitates the F major passage better than returning to third position on the E natural in bar 28. A couple of other fingering changes, instead of doing bar 30 into 31, 2, 1, 2, which is risky, but that can cause a lurch in the vibrato. I would change the position during the rest or the stop. And here you can use the first finger twice. Okay, then third position. Another passage, 33, bar 33, we can begin already in third position from the upbeat of the previous measure, first finger. And then here, on bar 34, you can extend the one back to grab the G, a squared one, then releasing the hand. Prepare it. Here again, after the downbeat of 36, the fourth finger, reach the 3 back a half step. Shift, Now, you have two choices in bar 39. Either stay in first position and use the open E, and use your fourth finger here to an extended 3. Or shift during the rest to second position. But in either case, I would extend the 3 for that C. Then back to the first position right before the fourth beat of bar 40. I think those are all of the most important fingering changes. Bar 13, I do change or, and I think that covers everything. So there is a little bit of advice about the tempo di marcia. Be careful also that the long strokes, you don't have an incorrect angle when you draw the first long note, that you allow the shoulder, the stroke to come from the shoulder, even though we're feeling the stroke in the forearm as well. If we push the bow out at the beginning of the stroke, the angle at the sounding point is incorrect, and the string will whistle a little bit. It won't have a good quality. You can track that with your ears. Maintain the feeling of a hanging shoulder, a free hinge, and contact. Avoid pronating at the shoulder when you pronate as you go down in the forearm. So pronating in the forearm is turning this way. That's okay as you go towards the tip to keep the index finger pressure in the string. But if we also do this, which I see a lot, that's very uncomfortable. You'll feel tension in the back of your shoulder that you want to avoid. Best way to do that is just really feel a whole arm movement from the shoulder, and don't allow the elbow to come up as you go down towards the tip. Okay, so we have that. All right, there you have it. Wohlfahrt study number 44, Tempo di Marcia. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to include them in comments below, and I hope that you'll like and share the page and subscribe. Thanks for watching.